No demographic gives me more joy and more humor and more laughter in addition to secondhand embarrassment, like these old grandpas that are way past their prime making this type of content. Someone ended up sending this to me. Hold on. Someone ended up sending me this content creator. I think it's what's his name? Ask an Older Man. There's a video that he did talking about the dating game is over. So I know I hopped on here and didn't like schedule this live, but I didn't know when I was gonna be on here or be able to get on here today. So let's go on ahead. I'm gonna share the screen and we're gonna get right into the content. Also, please don't forget to like the stream when you come in here. Just give me a quick thumbs up. And then if you aren't subscribed, please go on ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so that way when I am like random and I decide to just do content like this on a brink of a moment, you'll get notified and you can hop on in. So let's go on ahead and see what this old geezer has to say.
Spain is one of the hardest places to find love in the world, and that is a statistical fact. But no problem, because that's where I come in, giddy cupido, ready to save the lonely souls of this country. Today I organised a speed dating experience for 34 lovely singles, and honestly, I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. We like to keep a little bit of mystery at our events, so the couples aren't allowed to exchange any contact info. We collect the matches and send the matches out later instead. Also, for this event, we added an extra few spicy rules to keep the dates interesting. Everyone gets a pink card upon entry. These cards are pretty safe questions that help the couples get to know each other a little bit. And as the night goes on, they get new pink cards with every date. But
all right. Hey, it sounds like a great event. So that's in Spain. But like he said, dating in Spain is really freaking difficult. Dating in Dubai, really, really, really freaking difficult. Dating in China, really, really, really difficult. And here's the thing.
My thing about it is that if there are all of these different countries where it's very clear that dating is hard, wouldn't you think that that would be a reflection? Wouldn't you think that that would be a reflection of why it's hard for you? Like as a collective, if it's this many countries where people are having a hard time, and you're so desperate to have to go and leave the country, to have to find someone, to have to be desirable to someone, you're the problem. You're the one that has the issue.
Anywhere you go around the world in the West or any developed Asian nation, South Korea, China, any of those countries, dating is difficult. All right. So, my friends, we're going to focus today on the dating market internationally. And of course, we're going to zoom in on the whole speed dating market. But listen, in all of these cases, I'm trying to educate both males and females on what has to change. And I want to focus from three different perspectives. Women have to understand their sexual marketplace value, period. They have to understand their value to a man. That's one thing. Number two, their location and how they grew up. Understanding that men are the prize is as simple as that.
What is up with men thinking that they can put a value on women? This is all patriarchal shit, and this is why I tell women that you really need to look into history, and look at where the origination of marriage came from, because the origination of marriage, it created women to be property. So that's the reason why they keep comparing us to cars and saying that our value goes up, our value goes down. There's still countries where having a child bride is legal because men are absolutely disgusting. And a lot of men are very predatory, and a lot of men are chasing after the fountain of youth. And so in order for them, men are afraid of aging and men are afraid of dying. Okay. So they want to be able to find anything young to avoid them from having to be reminded that their dick's going to stop working. Their A1C is going to go up. They're going to have a heart attack and they're going to have a stroke. Okay. So in the prize, the prize, are you insane? What prize? They never explain how they're the prize. That's what I don't understand. At least women can say that we could give birth. At least we could say that. But when men say that they're the prize, like what like imagine if you procreated with this man. Now I'm gonna have to think about extra money I'm gonna have to spend. What if I have a daughter and her ears look like that? Like that's a whole genetic malformation there with those ears that this man has. And he's talking about he's the prize. His ball sack probably looks like fucking washed up raisins. And these men are talking about they're the prize. Oh my God.
And I'll prove it to you, ladies. And number 3, you all have to understand that time is not on your side. You had your fun in your early days when most young men never did. And you have to realize that based on your age, your options are not that freaking wide. All right. So
he told on himself. Give me 1 second. He told on himself. He said, your time is running out and you had all the fun in your young years when men never did. So you pretty much, AKA, I'm jealous of the fact that women are able to have a sexual value early on. And I'm a weirdo. I'm a nerdy weirdo that no one likes. And so I'm jealous of the fact that I have to wait until I'm old. I have to wait until I have enough money for women to even want to look at me longer than 2 seconds.
friends, welcome to another session with the older man. So first, please subscribe, my friends. Like this video on the way in so you don't forget. That's the simplest, cheapest, and most effective way you can support this channel. Of course, go into the description section of this channel and you'll see all the various areas and things that you can get free and or support me. All right, so let's first go to Wuhan, China. I know some of you have seen this video already. I won't play the whole thing, but in Wuhan, China, which is a huge city, they had a major singles event. Let's see how that went.
Recently, a highly anticipated matchmaking event was held in Wuhan, and the scene was breathtaking, but the outcome was extremely disappointing. The event attracted about 800 women, and shockingly, not a single man showed up. Despite being held in a luxurious hotel, with an exquisitely decorated venue, and even offering attractive gifts to attendees, the entry fee alone was 3,800 yuan. However, for these women attending the event, none of these carefully arranged details seemed to achieve the expected results. Each woman dressed to impress, trying to present her best self. They wore high-end clothes, had meticulous makeup, and were ready to meet a potential rich and handsome man. However, after the event started, all they were met with was an empty venue, with no men in sight. The women attending the event mostly had very high expectations and standards. For example, a 35-year-old woman working in finance, earning 6,000 yuan a month, hoped to find a man earning 1 million yuan annually, owning a luxury car and a villa. A 36-year-old female English teacher sought a partner from Tsinghua or Peking University, with a height of 1.8 meters and a distinguished academic background.
Yeah, and he just goes on and on describing the unrealistic expectations and requests from women.
What men don't realize is that when they are saying that women's standards are too high, they're simultaneously admitting the fact that they're not worth being around. They're not worth dealing with. And they just feel like, oh, well, even though we're not worth dealing with, even though we don't have a lot of money, we don't have any intellect, we don't have any emotional intelligence, we don't have any property, you should just be okay with that. Like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean? What do you mean a ring pop ring is not enough for you, even though you have your own ring on your finger that's like 3 carats? The reversal of pretty much desperation is hilarious. And I talked about this on the live stream where I did the call-in show when I was saying that we're seeing more and more of this, and we see it even in the States, where there will be these singles events that will be held and women will show up They will look very presentable. They will, have all their stuff together, and no men show up to the singles event. And I don't care what any man says, or if any man tries to hop on here and say anything, it is 100% because they don't want to be met in the face with rejection. Men are very cheap. You already have to pay money to get into these events. And men are getting to the point where they are seeing that women's standards are so high that they are not guaranteed anything. And yes, please like the live. I don't like, if we're not at 40 likes, if we're not on 40 likes, I have to pause. Like, I legit have to pause the live, because we gotta get the system going, right? As soon as y'all come in, the very first thing y'all should be doing is pressing that thumbs up button. Press that thumbs up button so we can keep the ship sailing, because I want to get through this content. So let's make sure we get the likes up, y'all. But the men don't want to pay their money to go to these events because they understand that if they pay money to this event, in most cases, it's going to be money wasted. And you can even tell that they're actually trying to make these singles events. You can tell they're trying to cater it to the potential rejection of men, because what they do now at these like speed dating events and stuff like that, I don't know how it used to be, but essentially what they do is like they don't let you know who you matched with until after the event is over. So I think you have to like fill out something, and like a couple of days after the event, they will like reach out to the people that had liked you. And then you'll find out after the fact. And so a lot of men fear the idea that, well, I'm going to pay this money, I'm going to waste my time, and then no one is going to want me. And if not later today, definitely tomorrow, I'm going to do a live stream talking about the movie Adolescence on Netflix. Or not the movie, but the series, the drama miniseries, Adolescence on Netflix. You have to watch that miniseries on Netflix, especially if you are the mother of a son. You must watch that miniseries. But a lot of it is rooted in that and their fear of rejection, and them realizing that, oh, well, even if I put in this effort, it's still not going to guarantee me a partner. And so this is also the reason why they want to do coffee dates and things like that. They want to have a very, very low investment, or ask you to split up on the date or anything like that. It's because they have a scarcity mindset. That's really what it is.
Not realizing her sexual marketplace value has dropped significantly. Her time based on her age. Sexual marketplace value and age. Those two things are closely tied together. And number 3, the fact that you had 800 women show up to an event and no men in a country that have a majority of men. Think about that shit. China has more men than women because of the one-child policy. Most couples aborted the girls and had boys instead. So what happens? They got a massive amount more men than women. But in the end, ladies, you got to realize that if the man does not ask you to marry him, it ain't going to happen. And because China is one of those developed countries where the women are out in the marketplace making a lot more money, hypergamy kicks in. Those women are only thinking that they should get a man who earns more than them. This is where the problem comes in. None of these women, just like Western women, because China has become quite capitalized as well. And that's another thing we got to look at. So these women are suffering as well. And more than likely, they will not last into old age because they're going to suffer the same problems with AI, getting tired and burning out as they hit their late 40s, early 50s. Their income is going to sink significantly. And another thing that's a big problem is China's massive economic dips, highs and lows. So when those women were sold a really nice villa or apartment, a really good price, some of those real estate deals that they made have gone horribly wrong because the economy is going through a hell of a lot of problems right now. US and Trump is giving China a run for its money because you knew when Trump came into office, man, that he was going to go after China hard. So the tariffs are going to kick in soon. Chinese economy has already been pretty hard slammed, especially in the cities where a lot of these high-end women are. It's taking its toll on their jobs right now. So
what I find interesting is that, okay, so based off of this logic, okay, so they have the one child rule and they got all of the girls aborted, and the one child that they could have had to be a male child, which means that it's going to be more men than it is of women. But then at the same time, he's also arguing the logic of hypergamy. if it's a population of more men than it is women, it's going to be higher of an ability for them to be hypergamous anyway, because I'm still pretty for sure that in China, there still is a gender gap between the pay between both genders. So even you're going to have if you have men dominating the population as opposed to women, it's going to be hypergamous anyway. It's just simply the men don't want to spend any money. The men don't want to go to any of these events in the first place. I mean, I feel like one thing doesn't affect the other thing. Women burn out because they take care of men, children, and also work. And women live longer, and single women tend to live longer. When you get married, as a woman, your life expectancy goes down. So I don't know. I don't know why he's trying to make it seem as if it's the opposite.
Well, ladies, you have to understand that if you don't have a partner sharing bills, in essence, your long-term future is not secure at all. Your long-term financial future is what I'm talking about here. You're going to have the same problem that women are currently having in the West, and is going to get a lot worse because a lot of jobs are being threatened right now by new technology. Let's hear what the woman has to say in this perspective.
The capital's manipulation and exploitation of women has become increasingly apparent in recent years, and it is now reaching its extreme. Recently, at a matchmaking event held in Wuhan, a 30-year-old professional dancer, whose weight was not disclosed, attracted widespread attention. She boldly declared on stage that her ideal partner must be a government employee with an annual salary of 200,000 yuan, or a non-government employee with an annual income of 300,000 yuan, and must be at least 1.8 meters tall. These standards, no matter how you look at them, seem less like criteria for a marriage match and more like a wish list. In response, the matchmaker hurriedly stated that someone earning 300,000 yuan a year would probably not choose to attend a matchmaking event. This remark sparked many online comments, with some joking that someone as beautiful as her should at least be looking for a man with a yearly salary of 1.8 million yuan. This statement, somewhat sarcastic in nature, clearly indicates that her demands are absurd and unrealistic, even to the point of being detached from reality. Following this, someone raised the question, do these women really not realize how unrealistic these standards are? This question has prompted a lot of reflection. In today's discussion, we won't approach this from the perspective of gender opposition, but from the standpoint of capital and the market.
You see, guys, you know how she says the word capital? You do realize that I'm going to let ChatGPT describe what kind of economy China has so that you can get a clearer picture. And so you guys don't come back at me with any crap, okay? Explain to me again what type of economy and government China has, please.
China has a socialist market economy, which blends market-oriented economic policies with state control over critical industries. The government maintains significant influence through state-owned enterprises and strategic planning. Politically, China is governed by a single-party system under the Communist Party of China, which holds ultimate authority over the state, military, and media. This centralized political control allows for long-term policy implementation and social stability.
There we go. But capitalism has seeped in. So she looks at capitalism as a virus, the enemy to their problems. Where on the other hand, in America, in the West, we look at socialism as a problem. So just so that you guys can understand why she's speaking like this about the so-called capitalist system. All right, let's hear what else she has to say.
Back in the 1980s, American capitalists faced a major issue. The consumption willingness of ordinary people had decreased. People no longer wanted to spend money as they did before, and instead preferred to save. This posed a huge challenge for capitalists, as if people did not consume, how could capitalists make money? Thus, they devised a clever solution: change people's mindsets to encourage consumption. The media and television in the United States began heavily promoting consumerism, especially targeting women. For example, they spread messages like women should buy designer bags to invest in themselves, or there's no ugly woman, only women who don't know how to apply makeup. The essence of these promotions was to flatter and kill women, subtly guiding them to consume, thereby generating more profits for capital. This promotion of consumerism didn't just work in the US, it was replicated and upgraded in China. Through the creation of holidays and specific occasions, such as White Day, Goddess Day, and 520, these days are not just simple celebrations. The core purpose behind them is to stimulate female consumption and further help capital gain profit. When women buy more products, capital receives more funds, which in turn allows for more media and advertising promotions, thus forming a perfect closed loop. What has made this process successful in China is its unique market environment. Taking marriage as an example, the supply-demand relationship between men and women directly determines who holds the initiative in the market. The number of men in China exceeds the number of women by about 30 million, which fundamentally means that many men must work hard to please women in order to have the right to choose a partner. Meanwhile, under the influence of capital's manipulation, women have grown increasingly confident. Some even believe they are very attractive and that there are always plenty of suitors, and they can always find a better partner. However, they often fail to realize that their sense of superiority is the result of capital's manipulation. Now, China's population of older single women has surpassed 100 million, while the number of leftover men is far fewer. The failure of the matchmaking event in Wuhan reveals the negative consequences of capital's manipulation of women and lifts the veil on this reality.
They try so hard to grasp at these ridiculous concepts. And I agree with what a lot of people are saying in the chat. I don't feel like this is real either. Like I've said it before, men went around sharing an AI generated photo of J-Lo. So the last thing I'm ever going to believe is that men are actually doing their research when it comes to the validity of these things that they are reacting to, and the validity of pretty much this echo chamber of information that they are taking in. My thing about it is this: everyone is still going to be a victim to capitalism. At the end of the day, women still do reap the benefits of consumerism under capitalism, because it is even statistically proven that when you are a woman and you're deemed as beautiful, you have more job opportunities. You're able to make more money. Women are out here just getting BBLs, getting Botox, getting lip fillers, doing all these things. These women are not doing these things and reaping zero benefit. They're not. It's not like they're doing these things and reaping no benefit. It's the idea of the fact that you can either have one or the other, right? You can either have the benefit of being with one man, and that's just the benefit that you're getting, or you deal with no man and then you reap all of the benefits that come along with having no man. So meaning, like, you're an IG baddie, you're a model, you create content, things like that. I guess things that would be considered to be more, if you're that people would deem to be you being more exploited, I guess, in a sense. Where are the likes at? Because obviously I can't see because I'm streaming this. My lovely moderators, just let me know where the likes at, because I will pause. We need to be at 60 likes, please. The first thing that you guys do when you come in, hit the thumbs up. I really don't want to have to keep stopping these lives. Oh my God, we only have 40 likes. All right, I'm definitely pausing. Until we get to 60 likes, we're on pause. We are on pause, y'all. Right. I don't understand why it's so hard to like the stream. It's free. All you have to do is press a button. And then what's even crazier is that when I tell people to like the stream, they're always so quick to dip out of here. Like, all you have to do is just press the single button. That's it. That's all. Thank you. It's actually the same one that I've been wearing since the beginning. It's just I wet it and just been putting gel in it. Yeah, like, I'm gonna keep doing this until people understand, hey, come in and like the live. Come in and like the live. So someone said that this man is married. Why is it that the men that make this content are always married? Because there's another guy's content that I plan to cover this week, and same thing. He's also married. Like, I feel bad for their wives. We have 78 people in here. We need to get to 60. Make sure you guys just press the thumb. That's all I got to do. Press the thumb. It's free. It's free. Oh, it's 83 people in here. Beautiful. Make sure y'all please hit the like button. Hit that thumbs up for your girl. And clearly they're unhappy. I mean, clearly I feel as though any man that's already partnered up, that's getting on the internet, that is like pandering this shit, it's like clearly you're unhappy. All right, 62 is good enough for now. Don't let it. Make sure we need to be within 20 likes of the current people in the room. So we're at 87 views right now. We would at least need to have 67 people like. I feel like that's generous. I feel like that's giving you all enough wiggle room. Let's keep the likes within 20 people of watching. Please hit the thumbs up when y'all come in.
Finally, what I want to say is that the ongoing discussion of these bizarre matchmaking phenomena is, in fact, a sign of awakening among single young people.
Woo! Women have figured out the problem. They identified that they have been manipulated. It's the same thing that has happened in America and all over the West. The problem is, it's just that women won't admit it and realize that this is what has happened to me.
No one has been manipulated. At the end of the day, what men are complaining about, this is men trying to pretty much blame women on the patriarchal standards that they created, that they abided to, and they're the ones that don't want to admit the fact that they've been manipulated. The oldest profession is the P word, right? Prostitution. That's the oldest profession, meaning that men put a value. That was the first thing that men put a value on. They put a dollar amount on women and what is in between our legs. Now they're upset because women are pretty much saying, listen, I have beauty, I have money, I have my things together. You're going to have to pay to play. You're going to have to pay to play. And so now they're upset. Now they're upset because women are pretty much hunkering down on the value that they were the ones that started off with. This is why I find it so funny when they're like, oh yeah, your sexual market value, your sexual market value. It's in turn affecting them, because when you put a value on something at that point, okay, well, you can't buy and sell us anymore. At least not as a common practice. It's done like illegally through trafficking, but you cannot legally have this as a practice anymore. So yes, when women are getting awarded in multiple ways, they're doing all these things to make money off of their beauty, or whatever form that they're able to make. Of course, they're not going to care about you being like, well, don't you want a man? Well, what does that come with? That doesn't come with enough benefits for women to want to just decide, well, I'll give all this up just to be with any old type of person. Instead, they're trying to flip it and make it seem like, oh, well, now you've consumed all of this consumerism under capitalism, and now essentially what you've done is you've priced yourself out of having a man. And it's like, no, like, we haven't priced ourselves out. It's just y'all are too cheap. It's too cheap. I didn't know he was married. I didn't even see a wedding done.
I need to change my way of thinking. The media and movies have blown women's consciousness and opinion of themselves so freaking huge that they all think when they put on that wig and their nails and their freaking eyelashes that they are priceless and they can demand anything. But what they do not understand is that men are logical thinkers. We are no longer falling for the facade. We know that we're getting screwed. And so we stop playing the game. This guy explains it best here.
Women have no clue of what men want because y'all run around with lashes,
I only
fake
ask
hair,
how you like
all
to
this
be,
bullshit, and you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman. But for some reason, y'all in competition.
I hate this argument. It's the most disingenuous argument. So this is synonymous to when people tell you, oh, just be yourself, right? Like if you want to become a content creator, oh, be yourself. If you're trying to find a partner, oh, just be yourself. When men are saying that they want natural beauty, essentially what they're saying is you still need to be beautiful. You just need to be beautiful in a natural way. Essentially what they're saying is you need to have a natural level of beauty where it's going to be within my price bracket, my tax bracket. I don't want you to be beautiful to the point where I can't afford it or I can't maintain it or it's going to get you more attention. This is the weakest argument ever. The weakest argument ever. And like I said before, all this has everything to do with the fact that men are getting very, very upset and jealous over the fact that they are seeing that women are able to monetize greatly off of their beauty. They are able to get money and gifts and trips and all types of male suitors based off their beauty. Men can't even tell the difference between natural, clean girl makeup and no makeup at all. They don't know the difference. When they say natural, if you have a wig and the wig looks really, really, really good, like it's laid perfectly, you think they're gonna fucking know if it's a wig or not? Of course not. They just really don't want they just don't want. What they're saying is, well, I don't really want you like 100% natural, but the fakeness needs to look natural. It needs to look real enough. So they want a woman that has a BBL shape. They say they don't like BBLs, but naturally men go for a small hip to waist ratio, right? They want your waist smaller than your hip. That's what the BBL is for. The BBL is for you to have a small waist, bigger hips, and then a bigger butt. That is biologically proven that is what men look for to pick their mate. So when they say, oh, we don't like BBL, it's the fact that they're jealous of the fact that now you can now purchase something to be able to go, it'll go toward the male gaze, it'll get you more attention and things like that. That's what they're really upset about, because if you were natural and you had the shape of a BBL, then what? Then what? It's not gonna make a difference. There are a lot of girls out here with BBLs, you can't even tell that they have one.
Issue with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning, she got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face. You that embarrassed of yourself? That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your ass. So how about doing what I like? The things that we want are free. They are free. But for some reason, y'all let y'all, when you ask a woman what do you bring to the table, the first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job. The first thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib. Congratulations, you're an adult.
It's amazing they wouldn't even shut up to let the man tell them what he wants. You are
What? Let's watch that again, because I don't remember anyone talking over this guy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I zoned out.
is that men are logical thinkers. We are no longer falling for the facade. We know that we're getting screwed. And so we stop playing the game. This guy explains it best here.
Women have no clue of what men want because y'all run around with lashes, fake hair,
like
all this bullshit, and you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman. But for some reason, y'all in competition with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning, she got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face. You that embarrassed of yourself? That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your. So how about doing what I like? The things that we want are free.
You hear that? Why not do what I like? They want you to do what they like while you do nothing that you like. Like, we're women. Let women women. Let women. If women want to wear it, like, come on. Men have their video games, the sports events, drinking at the bar, going to the pub, playing pool, all of the things. I don't really hear women saying, oh yeah, you can't sit here and go to the barbershop and, get all that bajan in your hair and in your beard. You can't sit here and, play video game. No, like, there's just shit that men are going to do because they're conditioned to do those things as men. Like, come on, like, little girls, you have Barbie dolls. The dolls usually have makeup. You usually get like little makeup kits, and you put high heels on the Barbies. Like, there's just certain things that we're societally conditioned to do that make us women, and then men make them men. It's like, do you want a man? Is that what this is about?
They are free. But for some reason, when you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? The first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job. The first thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib. Congratulations, you're an adult.
It's amazing they wouldn't even shut up to let the man tell them what he wants. You all want the same thing. Shut up. Listen to the man tell you what he wants. Give him what he wants, or he walks away from the table. Not interested. Well, I come with my nails and my good job, 2 baby daddies. You better take it. Why? Why would a man want to take that? I don't get it. And listen, man, I don't want this channel to be about female bashing and getting into the weeds about, how bad women are. Just like this woman has identified the problem in China, we men knew this a long time ago, and we're constantly trying to tell you ladies that you are the biggest problem. If you don't change, none of us are getting what we want. Of course, we men want you, but we want you to work with us. But the second you come into a relationship and secure the man, you do the whole switch up.
And that's what he doesn't realize, is that it's one-sided. Like, the wanting is very one-sided. Like, they want us more than we want them. That's the reason why we're not going to quit getting our nails done. We're not going to quit getting pedicures. We're not going to quit getting the fillers or the BBLs. We're not going to quit wearing the wigs. Men are not able to really process the idea of women doing things for themselves, because men don't do anything for themselves. Honestly, men typically don't do anything for themselves. When they're going to the gym, they are doing it to appeal to if they have a group of friends, to pretty much stand out or fit in the masculinity template of how they're supposed to look physically, and then also obviously to attract women. If women were not on the planet, do you really think that men would be taking care of themselves? I mean, they're taking care of themselves on a very minimal, very small scale to begin with. I do not believe that if I just Thanos snap all the women off of the planet, that they would even care about how they look. They wouldn't be getting haircuts. They wouldn't be washing their ass. They wouldn't be washing their clothes. They wouldn't care about how they're eating. Most of everything of what they're doing is to use women as a way to make them feel leveled out within their security, and then also to attract the glances and attention of other men. Men don't do anything for themselves. So they're projecting when they think, oh, well, you're doing it for other women. No, y'all are doing things for other men to get the attention of other men. They don't do anything for themselves.
Come the nightmare every man hates.
Or that your future would be unhappy together with this person, that therefore other obstacles with unknown people and maybe you'll forever be single is better because at least there's opportunity for something different.
Can someone explain to me how a man can work all day to keep a woman home nice and comfortable and he'll come home to no punani, no home cooked meal in a dirty house? I mean, isn't the whole point of staying home to help make the person who's working all day's life easier?
I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've been single for a really long time. And I always have guys asking me like, oh, how's a girl like you single? Like insinuating like I shouldn't be. And I'll tell you why I'm still single, because my standards are at this point, they're through the roof. Like good luck meeting them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having standards, but I don't really get the flex here.
She's obviously advertising the fact that, hey, I would love a man. But she's telling the man that her standards are so ridiculously high. What is she hoping to achieve? She's hoping to weed out men who don't want to put up with her, but a man who's willing to put up with her high standards, which technically translates to, I'm going to be insufferable. My demands are going to be so through the roof that it doesn't matter what you do, I will never be satisfied. Therefore, I'm going to be constantly being a nightmare to you. How the hell does that make sense to make you more attractive? Where literally men are just going to say, okay, fine, great, you do you. If you want to give up some panani, yeah, I'll take it. I'll lie to you long enough to get some and then move on. But I ain't freaking putting up with any shit. Not marrying that. Hell no. No man in his right mind would put up with that. Most men these days are probably not going to even look at you if you don't throw the panani at him with a statement like that. And I mean, throw it at him, literally. Okay, so I don't get what these women are trying to freaking prove by coming out here to what? Tell men how high their standards are? Prettier women than you are not getting any play from men, period. There's too many channels like these who are warning women. So now we're going to get to this point.
I'm going to say the hard part out loud so that other women don't feel the shame anymore. Not desperate in the traditional pick-me-sha, me, pick-me type way, but desperate as in you're desperate for it to be your turn. Any women, including myself again, we have been desperate for us to have our happy ending.
And so what's the difference between picking me, desperate for it to be my turn? Pick me, Sha, I'm desperate for you to pick me. Make that shit make sense. I don't get it. Just say it, man. Listen, I'm desperate to freaking find a man. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Because
if women were desperate to find a man, then their standards wouldn't be that high. That's the point. Only when women reduce their standards and make them super low would they in turn be desperate for a man. All this is just a ploy. It's just a very, very covert way of men pretty much saying, please give us a chance. Please give us an opportunity. Like, no. And I've said it before in another video, it's like, okay, you went to school, like you got a degree and like out the gate, you're making $50 an hour, like you've worked hard, you've earned this coin that you're making. And then like, let's just say you lose your job. Most people who are college educated, they have a lot of pride around them having an education and what that comes with in their pay grade, in addition to their education. So what'll happen is that people will be on like their last dollar, and educated people, they're not going to want to work at McDonald's. They're just not going to work at McDonald's just to be able to get a paycheck. They rather do everything they can in order to work in the field that they got an education in. And so I feel as though that example is synonymous to women pretty much saying, if I'm going to have these high standards because I've worked on myself to have these high standards. Like I've gotten the money, I went to therapy, I work on my mind, my body, my soul, all of the things. I'm a well-rounded package. I'm not going to sit here and, just take something just because it's there. You know what I mean? Out of like desperation. No, it doesn't work like that.
Because men aren't picking women anymore, period. And because of the fact that women spend so much because of this whole capitalist thing, they spend a shitload of money just on trying to stay beautiful, competing with other women.
And here's the thing. Are women a slave to capitalism? Yes, because there's beauty standards, but this has always been a thing. This has always been a thing because men have created beauty standards, right? And so what happens is that they have a set of beauty standards, and like that usually lasts for 10 years. And then once that, like they're done with that run, then they adopt a new set of beauty standards and then make money off of that, and then wash, rinse, repeat. It's always been like that. This is no newfound thing. Women do, we're the top consumers. We're the top consumers. However, we live in a society where you are awarded and rewarded as a woman when you fit under societal standards. And this is why when men are like, oh, well, why do Black women wear wigs? There are laws. There are literally laws that haven't even been in existence that long in certain places of employment where they have just made it legal for you to wear your natural hair. It is statistically proven that women that pretty much essentially cater to the male gaze, they do better in corporate America. They are provided more opportunities. Women are not just doing this just to do it. They're reaping benefits doing this under this capitalism, under this consumerism. So you can't sit here and blame women, oh, well, you're getting manipulated and you're falling into the trap. Okay, yes. Is it funding the pockets of is it funding the pockets of capitalists? Is it funding the pockets of, billionaires? Of course it is. But when women don't follow that trajectory, they're ostracized. Life is harder for them when they don't follow that trajectory.
Because we know that it's not because of the men. Men don't need you with massive amounts of freaking products and makeup and all of that shit. I have seen this common occurrence with all of the women that I've dated in my lifetime. It's the same thing. The amount of money that women spend on crap, non-essential items to maintain their beauty, so to speak, is insane. If you were to add up all of the money that you guys spend on a monthly basis and invested that money, you all wouldn't have a problem, but you all don't live like that. Men live very simple, very simple.
Because men don't have any beauty standards to live by. Men are just allowed to be ugly. Men are just allowed to be unkept. Like, I feel as though I can speak for most women that when a woman meets a man and like his house is decorated, he actually has a bedding set, he actually has like nice furniture, he's got candles burning, he knows how to dress properly. Most women are like, oh my gosh, like you actually know how to dress yourself. Most men don't even know how to dress themselves properly. Like the bar is so low for men because men don't get awarded with beauty. Women are slaves to consumer capitalism through our beauty being exploited. Men are slaves to capitalism due to their physicality. So work hard. Be a man, work hard, you're strong, you're physically inept. This is how they played men to go into the war, to get to be ready to go fight the war. They pretty much sold to men, well, you're a real man when you fight for the country, you are strong, you are brawn, you have enough power, you have enough dominance, you need to do the right thing and you need to fight for your country. That's how men were manipulated years and years ago to be able to pretty much get brainwashed to want to go fight the war. And they didn't even see it then. So like I said before, a lot of this has a lot to do with, oh, well, you just get to go put a wig on and go pay for surgery and then boom, you get everything that you want and I have to work for everything. I didn't create patriarchy. I didn't create patriarchy. You got to take that up with the man that created that.
Because we don't get caught up with the emotional impact of all the advertising that's thrown at us. We don't, because we're rational thinkers rather than emotional thinkers. We don't respond like women do to emotional triggers. And we keep telling you over and over again, we don't need you overdone. We don't need you to put that much effort into it, but you're competing against each other and it's just not necessary. This is a side note, but I saw this piece of news the other day and I just thought, wow, this is what we need for Black women in the West, where the country of Cote d'Ivoire in Africa, they have just disallowed, let me get the article here. The Miss Cote d'Ivoire beauty pageant has officially banned wigs and weaves, encouraging participants to embrace their natural hair, whether short, braided, or shaved. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Woo, man. I really think that this should just be standard across the entire beauty industry, because this crap needs to stop. I don't understand why women feel ashamed to show their natural beauty, but yet they feel that the mask that they put on is what men should accept them as beautiful. And this illusion is what they bring to the dating market, thinking that they are so much higher and so much more attractive than men, not realizing they're
In the real, ladies in the chat, I want you to tell me, give me a percentage. In the real world, when you are out daily, what percentage of women do you see wearing makeup? So, like, for instance, when I lived in New York City, I would take the subway. I would walk the streets. New York City is obviously a heavily populated city. I would say on average, on a daily basis, I probably saw 5%. I say probably 5 to 7% of women wearing makeup. So I mean, just out in public. Don't count when you go to work. Don't count when you go to work. I'm saying just out regular every day when you're seeing a woman and like she's got her hair, her makeup, her nails, she got on the full thing, like pretty much what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, in real life, I don't see this. I only see this when it comes to a setting where it would be appropriate. So work, weddings, brunches, any setting or any event where it would really make sense, like on the weekend, or exactly. I think a lot of this just comes from men constantly, chronically being on the phone constantly, and that's what they're assuming what everybody is doing. But outside of a setting where it would be appropriate, a brunch, a dinner, anything like that, on a day-to-day basis, in most cases, you're not going to see women put together head to toe constantly. Most of this is always just going to be on Instagram, on the internet, which is where most of these men live at. So a lot of these talking points is not really rooted in reality. It's not rooted in reality. But it's a bad makeup job because I'm in Portland. Oh, chow. Out and about, yeah, 5 to 7%, but I'm out in the suburbs living near a Target, Ultra, and Sephora nearby. But I kind of feel like that would add to what you're saying anyway, because usually in the suburbs, those individuals are most likely married. Those individuals most likely like have a family. So my thing about it is that, I mean, like I said before, unless you're in a setting where it would make sense when you're getting yourself put up together, in most cases, you're not going to go to the grocery store and you're seeing women wearing high heels and a tight dress and wearing makeup and have their nails done. In most cases, you're not going to do that. I don't mind doing that, or at least to a certain degree, I don't mind doing that. But most of this is just men who are chronically on their goddamn phone.
bringing a mask to the party that men don't wear. Tell me how that shit makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't. So if you think China's bad, let's look at a speed dating event. This one woman here is going viral. I've seen her on all the channel before. So this is in Charlotte, North Carolina, where this woman is explaining her dating experience. So this is her showing off her beauty going out to this speed dating event. All right. Not a bad figure. Not a bad figure at all. Looking good. Let's hear what she has to say.
Fit check, headed to a speed dating event that I am not excited about. This is actually my worst nightmare. But here we are, trying new things in 2025 in the name of IRL dating and deleting the apps. So here we go. Oh, and here's the full fit. Cute, but like a little sexy. I don't know. Maybe she's sexy. Who cares? Whatever. Bye. As I'm driving here, I'm realizing I actually really don't want to do this. Really don't. Like everything in me wants to turn around and go home. You know when like your hair just didn't turn out how you wanted it to, and parking was hard, and you're breaking out, and you're just kind of trying to find any reason you possibly can to go home? That's me right now. That's a walking here. I need to fix my attitude.
It's not your hair. It's not.
He just proved my point. My point just got proven. She is dressed appropriately for the event that she is going to. She doesn't have on heavy makeup, and she has on a wig. And I've noticed this even when I was in New York City. We went to this place called Mason Close. It's a really nice place. It's a French restaurant, and they have like a very, very nice like brunch, and it's very performative during the day, and they close all the lights to kind of make you think that it's at night. And they have like a cabaret dancer, all that. And me and all my girls were dressed up. Actually, on the last live stream when I had on that white top, the blue skirt, and then the snakeskin boots with the coat, that's what I wore. That's what I wore to Mason Close. That was the night. And me and all my girls, we were dressed down. Most of the women there were dressed down. And there was a party that was there. And they were surprising, I think it was a boyfriend surprising his girlfriend. We looked at the table and we were like, the men are dressed terrible. They have on jeans. They have on a raggedy t-shirt. They're not dressed up. They're not put together. And every time we went out in New York City, like one time, we went to do the tea time, and the place actually had a dress code. There was a black man in that with a jogging suit on. I can't even believe that they let this man in when the place had a dress code. Everyone else was dressed relatively nice, and they let this black man in with a jogging suit on, and we're on the top floor at a hotel at a goddamn tea time. These men really, really want women to just come in and look tore up, tired, and then guess what? I bet you if you actually gave them what they wanted, they would shame you. Well, did you roll out of bed? Did you just roll out of bed? You look tired. It would be they're going to shame you anyway. They're going to say the same shit even if you give them what they want because their effort is so low. That woman is dressed appropriately for the event.
You're here. It's when your wig didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Let's not get this confused. And this is my point precisely. These women think that this thing that they wear on their head, somebody else's hair or some fake petroleum thing that's sitting on their head is their hair. The delusion runs deep. Oh, when you feel like your hair didn't come out the way it should come out. Oh.
If you buy a car, isn't it your car? If you buy a house, isn't it your house? Men love to compare women to cars all the time. It works in those. It works in those examples, but now all of a sudden, because she has a wig and she bought it, and even though it's not her hair, all of a sudden it's no longer her hair. Unless you assembled the car, unless you built your house from the ground up, it wasn't yours to begin with either.
Men act like the prize simply because we outnumber them. We outnumber them, like truly. Like in there was like 75 women and 10 men. 10. I have so much to tell you. I lasted 17 minutes in there. Worst and only dating event I've ever been to.
75 women to 10 men. That's a 7-to-1 ratio. Woo! Now, she does an extended video. I'm not going to play all of it, but I just want you to hear the mindset of a woman who just can't understand her sexual marketplace value, even though it's clearly laid out in front of her. If you go to an event that is supposed to attract both genders, who are supposed to want each other, but the men are not interested, you got to recognize that it's not the men that are the problem. It is the product, because men are coming to pursue you. You are making yourself available, and basically the men say, whatever you are making available, I'm not interested in it. I'm not even going to show up to look at it. Please understand that's what's happening. It's happening in China. It's happening in Spain. It's happening in New York City. It's happening in every single Western city. Men are saying no. It tells you that we have a problem in the female department. Men are.
No, we have a problem with men assimilating to the real world because the dating apps would tell you otherwise. There are more men on the dating apps than it is as women. This is why the predatory behavior on the dating apps has become more rampant, because these men can fake their name, they can fake their profile picture, they can talk a whole lot of shit in their biographies, and it's a lot easier for them to be able to manipulate women. Men are en masse on the dating apps. Men don't want to go in person because they don't want to get exposed. It's harder for them to manipulate when they are in person. They actually have to have a personality when they are in person. Has nothing to do with, oh, well, men aren't doing anything. No, if that's the case, how come they're still on the dating apps? How come they're complaining about, oh, well, I get no matches on the dating apps? And no, if the men aren't getting matches on the dating apps, what the fuck would make you think that they want to go out in person and have the same shit happen?
Are not buying what you're selling, but yet you women refuse to listen to what the men want. Men have a choice to say no. Let's hear what she has to say after the date.
I just got back from the most unhinged speed dating event of my entire life. Dating in Charlotte is a problem. Honestly, this needs to be studied. This experience needs to be studied. Having been here for only 6 months, coming from Houston, Texas, this is not normal. This is not okay.
So I will preface this by saying I did not want to go. This is not my cup of tea. This is not how I generally meet people.
Okay, obviously whatever you have been trying in the past have not worked. This has brought you to this point where you're trying something new. Kudos for you. Thank you. But we have to analyze that if you haven't found men who are attracted to you, you are the problem. Because the women who are eligible, who make themselves available and are good women, those are the women that are taking off the market. They're taking off the market very quickly because men can identify a good woman. Something is wrong with the product. Yeah, something is wrong with you. You are not at the top of the list, my friend.
And you see, the product, something to be consumed. They don't see us as real people. They don't see us as human. They literally just see us as like literally products on a conveyor belt. Like that's just like going down the assembly line. And it's like, okay, defect, 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 defect. It's crazy. And they actually think that talking in this manner, they actually believe that addressing women based off of their SMV, comparing us to cars, calling us products, they actually believe that we would want to listen to what it is that they're saying. They actually can't understand why women aren't listening or doing what it is that they're telling us to do, because women don't want to be a product to be consumed. We don't. I cannot wait until these men get the AI robots or be on like an island with other men, like they're so badly wanting, but they just won't admit. Because at the end of the day, women aren't gonna cater to this shit. It's just not gonna happen.
It's a cold, hard freaking truth that you have to deal with.
I was very concerned and very anxious, going into this. I really was. Like, truly. I tried to get out of it multiple times. I texted my best friend. I was like, I just don't think I should go. She was like, no, you need to get out there. Stop meeting men on these apps. Start meeting men in real life. As we know, men don't approach women as much in real life. So a speed dating event felt like the perfect place to meet men where they would feel comfortable approaching women and women would feel comfortable being approached. So got dressed, got cute, put shit on, might I add, okay? And headed on down there, okay? Here's where everything went wrong. Now, the event started at 6 o'clock. I will admit, I got there at 7:30. Maybe a problem. But the thing about it is the flyer said, this is a mix and mingle speed dating happy hour. First of all, I don't even know that those words really go together. But to me, it felt like kind of a come and go as you please. So I didn't want to be the first one there at 6 o'clock. Showing up at 7:30 was also not the move, though. Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw? Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
You're going to go to an event where you know you're going to probably be the majority and you don't want to actually get there beforehand to actually get a jump start on your competitors, other women. You're going to show up an hour and a half late. It shows me immediately that you have no idea how competitive the dating market is, or you even know how competitive it is, and still you don't recognize that you have to compete. You're competing with other women. Like,
the reason why men always like to make this talking point where women are competing with other women, which is true, and the reason why that's true is because in a patriarchal system, men rely very heavily on triangulation. They rely very heavily on the competitive nature between women in order to fight against men. This is the reason why Pygmesia is always going to fight the other woman, right? That's what Pygmesia does. Women with low self-esteem, they're going to always go after the other woman instead of holding the man accountable because they think that the man is the prize. And so men rely on this dynamic to essentially be able to dangle the carrot. And it also gives men a high form of validation. So, of course, he's projecting that off onto her. At the end of the day, I don't really care what event it is. I'm not going to an event and being the first one there. There's a reason why it's called fashionably late. There's a reason why that is a term that is very, very popular. No one really likes showing up first to anything because you already know that most of the time people are going to come late. And not trying to put race into it, but she's a Black woman, okay? Like, we have Black people time. We're not on time for anything. We don't want to be the first person to do anything. Like, if it's a baby shower, I'm getting the gift on the way to the baby shower in the card and filling out the card when I'm in when I parked and filling it out. And then here I go in with my gift and my card and everything like that.
Mr. Kevin Samuels used to say, you should be able to take a knee out of another woman to get a good man. Because that's what Becky is going to do. Black women just have no freaking clue that this is a highly competitive market.
It's only a highly competitive market for Pygmesias. It's only a highly competitive market for women with a low self-esteem because the consolation prize is a man that is going to stress you out, a man that is going to take your beauty away, a man that is most likely going to put you in a worse financial predicament than you would have came in with, a man that's going to drain you. No,
women sitting alone, no men in sight, none. I promise you, I will overlay a video. There were I could not see one man outside of the people servicing tables at this place. So eventually I get the courage to go sit down with a group of girls at a table, and I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, where are they? I know I'm late. Like, is there some sort of game going on where the men are in one room and the women are in another room? They're like, oh, girl, you just got here. You must not have heard. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, basically, about an hour ago, she came downstairs, took all the men, 10. Keep in mind, there's like 85 women and 10 men. She got the 10 men to choose the women that they wanted to come upstairs with them. So the 10 men out of 85 women chose 10 women to take upstairs. And that's where they did the speed dating upstairs, while everybody else was downstairs looking at each other. Everybody was on their phones. Everybody was looking around like, what the hell is this?
Can you imagine? Oh, Christ, man. You ladies have no clue how valuable a man is in today's environment. You're now starting to see the receipts. You're now starting to see the damage women have done to the relationship market. This wasn't done by men. And listen, this is not a blame game. But in order to fix something, we need to understand where the problem lies, how it originated, and then and only then can we fix it. We are in a whole different world when it comes to relationships, my friend. And women still have no freaking clue how to fix it. I am here to tell you, you need to humble your ass selves and get out there and tell a man what you're going to offer him in order to partner with him. You need to sell that man on you. And here's the kicker. It's not the weaves. It's not the nails. All right. It's not your great job, even though you better have a job, because most average men now needs a woman who can actually provide at least 50% of the income coming in right now. You need to understand that you got to bring a lot more to the table than you think that you have to bring, because the world is no longer set up for single people or one average man contributing for a family.
At the end of the day, we are in late stage capitalism. The world is not set up for anybody. Because guess what? Most of these couples, most of these married people, they have children. So they're in no better predicament than a single person is in, okay? Because they have children. I mean, you having one child amongst a couple, come on, for it to even kind of make sense, combined income, you would at least need about 250, 300K between both incomes for it to make sense for you to have two children and to be comfortable in today's economy. So this is what this is how you know this argument is always disingenuous, because they always want to make this argument and make it be like single and then coupled. So that means that every single married person can manage their that means that every couple is managing their finances perfectly. That means that every married couple or relationship is not in any debt.
And if you want kids, there is no way that you're going to find an average man that could support you and a kid in the middle of a city. It's impossible. The math cannot math with that setup. It's not his money is my money and my money is my money. No, it's literally I bring my money, he brings his money. We put those two monies together. We have a few kids and we live as best as we can. And we build
that. Where is the selling point of that? Like, he didn't even try to package that to make it sound appealing, to make it sound good, to make it sound as though, oh my God, that's something that I really want to do. So instead of me having 100% of my finances to myself, where I could wake up and be like, I want to go on a vacation, or I want to go shopping, or I want to invest this money into a business or into real estate, and me just being able to do it, you want me to be with a man and then be like, oh, well, I'm going to put 50% of my finances with 50% of your finances. Then we're going to have a child. Then we're going to be living paycheck to paycheck. Then we're going to be penny pinching. Then we can't do anything like a vacation. We can't invest in anything. This is the reason why our people will never have generational wealth, because they're so stricken on this like trauma, poverty struggle of like just find someone, and even if you're living in a shoebox, just make it work. Like that just, I feel as though that's a mental illness, if I could be completely honest. I feel as though anyone that has the mindset of we'll do what we need to do to get by, we'll figure it out, that's a mental illness. That's a scarcity mindset, and something is wrong with you, because why would you want to be in a stress-inducing state like that? I understand that men are problem solvers, and I do understand that men release vasopressin. So naturally, that's what they want to do. They want to put themselves in predicaments that make them uncomfortable. But that's not how women operate. Women don't like to be under stressful situations. Women like stability. And then they wonder that when they put you in predicaments like this, then when you're stepping up and you're making sure that you need to do what is needed to not be in said stressful situation, all of a sudden you're masculine. It's because women value stability. Women don't want to be in predicaments like this.
Together until we freaking grow old and gray. Not until I get bored and then I can take half of his shit. No, it's stay together. But men, unfortunately, knows that if he gets involved with that type of situation, you have all the opportunities to take 50% of his shit. After you guys have built together, you can then take 50% of whatever he puts in. So he's left screwed. It's not worth it for men because the laws are set up against him. That's the reason why you ladies are in this situation. And let's not even go to the point where, oh, he's not tall enough, he's not good looking enough, he don't have any abs, he looks too fat. Forget all of that shit. We haven't even reached there yet. You ladies have no idea how to deal with this situation. Reality is a bitch. You all are now discovering how rare a high value man is.
I have never been so uncomfortable in my entire life. The mismanagement, I don't even know where to start. This was a ticketed event. So the event owners knew, hey, we have 85 women RSVP'd and only 10 men. They knew that this was a problem going into the event. This was not a surprise. And I figured there would be like a level of disparity between the number of men and women because speed dating tends to attract women and not necessarily men. So when one girl came downstairs from the 10-person thing, we were all like, girl, what's going on up there? She was like, oh, none of them are my type. So I just walked out. And they were like, well, we're gonna have to replace you. She was like, go ahead. Like, I don't want to be up here. I was like, well, what were the guys like? Are they cute? She was like, girl, they're all underneath 5'9". She's like, and I'm 5'8". So I really only talk to men that are 6'2" and above. I was like, point blank period. I'm 5'9". So I'm the same way. Like, I really only talk to people about 6 feet.
Must be at least 1.8 meters tall.
And there, my friends, is the problem.
This is what I find so funny. He just said that women are finding out how rare a high value man is. If they were so rare, then why did that woman decide, you want to know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to walk out because I'm not going to get the man that I want. Like, no, this is crazy. This is nonsense.
Woman wants the freaking 6-foot guy. You know how rare 6-foot men are? They have no clue. Oh, I want to come with the lace front, and I want to come with the freaking glasses, and I want to come with a big ass, and I want to come with a fat face, and whatever else women bring to the table, but I want a 6-foot man for that. When the large majority of them are freaking below 6 feet. Why can't you get a guy on the same level? Same freaking height. Most of these women are 5'9" with heels on. Most of them. In their eyes, that's their height. Blows my mind every single time.
So she was like, no, every single person was short. It didn't make sense for me. This entire like way that they're doing this isn't like interesting to me at all. So everyone was just sitting around.
Talk to them. These women are here to try to find a serious partner. I can probably tell you that this woman that came downstairs was probably rejected. She was rejected by most of these men. So she's going to give the excuse, well, they weren't.
She didn't go up. She already said that. She wasn't able to go up. The men had to choose what woman it was that they wanted to essentially pick. That's why she asked the girl, what did you see up there? And she made it very clear, well, I'm 5'8", and the girl that she spoke to is 5'8". So she wasn't going to like any of the men anyway, because she wants someone that is pretty much 6 foot and up because she's already tall. See, like all of these narratives that like they have to delude themselves and lie to themselves to pretty much make them feel as though they're valuable, they're the prize, everyone wants them.
Cute, they weren't tall enough, blah, blah, blah. Women keep other women single.
Waiting for the men to come downstairs so that they could have a chance to talk to them, I guess. I was not going to be one of those people sitting and waiting. I mean, what am I supposed to do when they come downstairs, bum rush them? Especially after you've told me they're all pretty much below 5'9"? I'm out of here. I stayed for 17 minutes and then I left. Like after that, I had nothing to say. The cool part about it is 2 people though, they had seen my previous TikTok. So your girl felt a little viral.
So she's all about the clout. She's the typical problem with what's going on in the dating market right now. Everybody's looking for Instagrammable partners, social media partners. If they don't look good, is he cute? Is he tall? Does he have a 6-pack? Look at this.
Sir, you're a content creator making the type of content that you're making. Are you yourself not looking for clout? Like if she's looking for clout making the TikTok, are you not looking for clout making this content? Like, come on, every content creator is a clout chaser. Duh. Every content creator wants to be able to make money and do things that's going to gain them notoriety, that's going to gain them attention to be able to make money. Like, come on.
woman's face, which man gonna look at her and go, yeah, with my 6-pack, this is the woman I need. With my 6'2" frame, this is the woman I need. Which man? Please tell me. Gentlemen, any of you that are over six feet would look at this woman and say, yeah, that's a woman I will take. Please let me know in the comment section. Look at that face. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to show these women the reality of the situation that they're in.
Slightly embarrassing, but also fine. I say all that to say,
He's telling this woman to look in a mirror as if, like, sir, have you not looked in a mirror? Or do you have cataracts or glaucoma so you can't see clearly? It's all blurry, so you can't really see your sexual market value. You can't see the bell pepper nose in the mirror, sir. Like, come on.
that was so bad. And the planners, event planners, owners of that, y'all really got to get it together. Don't ever put together an event like that again. People left extremely disappointed. The only part I am happy about is that that was free. The only thing I did have to pay for was parking, and I'm mad about even that. But truly so unhinged. I also, last point, I can see why men think they're the prize. Like, if I was a man dating in this day and age, I would feel like I was the prize too. To have 85 beautiful, good smelling, intelligent Black women sitting in a room just waiting to talk to me, wanting me to pick them. I mean, I would feel like rookie of the year. I don't know what else to say. I would feel like I was the prize too. And I think that's what gives a lot of men this illusion of choice. On dating apps, it feels like endless women. For dating in Charlotte, it feels like an endless amount of women to choose from because we quite literally outnumber them by 7, 8x everywhere we go. I don't know how we're going to work through this. I don't. Feel free to give me ideas, but
You see how she made that sound so?
I really, really, really want women to, number one, stop going to these fucking events. All they are is a money grab for these event people, these promoters. They know what the fuck they're doing. If they really were planning these events in the interest of women, they would have noticed a week out from the event that, oh shit, because you know for a fact, like they will make you fill out like your name, your age, and they're going to have you put your gender. And so they already knew that it was going to be way more women attending this event as opposed to the men. These are money grabs. They don't care about you finding a partner. It's like the fucking dating apps, right? They pretty much try to dangle, oh, well, you'll be able to see more matches. Oh, we'll be able to match you up with people that are your type or more attractive people. All you have to do is just pay X amount of money. Quit paying for this shit. Quit all of it. The dating apps, going to these events, quit paying for it. And then also quit getting on the internet talking about how these things don't turn out in your favor when it comes to a man. Every time a woman makes a piece of content like this, I like die inside. I really, really, really die inside because it's just like, why are you going to the event and why are you outing yourself? All you're doing is giving men like this fuel to their fire to pretty much make them feel validated with the echo chambers that already exist. You're validating what their beliefs already are. Oh, well, she paid all this money and, she got all ready and paid all this money thinking that she was going to find a man. And when she went, it was only 10 men there and she has to compete with, 84 other women to be able to find one man. And because of that, look at that. None of the men wanted to come and deal with you all. Quit. Like, the breakups, the issues, like quit posting this. All you're doing is giving them ammunition to keep creating this type of content.
Like it's the men's fault. As if men are just rushed by all of these women. You see the first woman that came down, this is what men have to put up with. We have no illusion of choice. And this idea that all of these beautiful, good-smelling women, I don't know, what is the issue with smells, man? I don't know. If you saw my video from yesterday, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But this idea that the prettier the woman or the more high class she is, the less her coochie smells, I don't know. Check out my video from yesterday. You'll...
Oh my gosh. It's like, women in the chat, or once this video is saved, women in the comments, please tell me. As you get older, like this was a revelation that I had as I've gotten older. The older that I get, the more I cannot unsee the lack of intellect that most men have. Like, it's like I get older and I'm just like, did you really just fix your lips to say what you just said? Did your brain really work that hard to create that thought? And then to make things worse, They feel so confident and they feel so intelligent and they feel so smart saying this stuff. That's what kills me. They really, really think that they're smart saying this stuff. And it's like the older I get, I'm like, y'all need a hard hat. Y'all need a freaking hard hat with how dumb y'all sound. Like, for instance, in the community tab, right? So that post, when I had said that the girl said that a guy canceled the date because she said that she wasn't going to drink or she doesn't drink and he canceled the date, that was on Threads. There was a fool that said, well, she's probably pregnant and he probably realized that she was trying to pin a baby on him, so he just canceled the date. Where do you get that thought process from? From that? A woman doesn't want to drink on the first date, and so it's because she's pregnant and is trying to pin a baby on you, and the man, that's what he saw it as, and so he decided to cancel the date. That is where your mind goes. I mean, literally, these men are crawling under cages, rolling through mud to be able to jump to these crazy ass conclusions to be victimized, to prevent themselves from the level of victimization that does not exist. It's crazy.
We'll see why I made that reference. It's not the reference I would prefer to make, but she's the one that actually made a reference to smells. The point I'm trying to get across is simply this, lady. Men have always been the prize. The only reason that you all think that women are the prize is because mass media have pushed this idea that women are the prize. But women don't bring anything to men that men can't attain easier or much simpler being on his own. What interests men is not what interests women. Women need a protective provider. Men don't need that from a woman. Men live very simple. It's only when a woman enters life is when his life becomes more complicated in today's environment. Women no longer bring femininity. Most women these days are masculine. So men are not getting anything from women. When men enter into a relationship with women, most of the time the coochie or his ability to get laid falls significantly. When he's single, he can go out and buy it anywhere, anytime he needs it, even if he's not.
So then buy it. That's what I don't understand. You could just buy it. Like, I talked to a man about this. Last night. It's this narrative of, oh, women are using men for dates. And yes, I'm not going to sit here and say, women are hoping that, hey, if I don't like the man, at least I got a date out of it. Like, at least I got food out of the date, right? And an enjoyable dinner out of the date. Women aren't going in saying, oh, most women, I know that there's some women that are, whatever. Oh, let me match with a ton of men. I need a free meal. I need a free meal. Let me go on ahead and let me match with a ton of men and get this free meal. Most of the time, the intention is, hey, I want to meet a nice guy. I want to eat a nice meal. It's just when they feel as though, oh, there's not a connection. Oh, there's not a spark. Oh, I'm not going to get whatever it is that I'm not going to get what it is that I desire. Oh, you use me for a meal. You use me. You use me to get a free meal. And so I told a man, I said, you're never going to get used for a free meal if you don't date. You're never going to get used, because at the end of the day, you feel as though you're owed something because you took a woman out on a date. That's just the normal courting situation. You're mad at women, and that's the protector and provider, right? That's the sign of you being able to provide. I mean, a woman does have to have sustenance. A human has to have sustenance to be able to survive, right?
Not told, he can still buy it if he wants it. He can pay the woman to leave. You don't have to worry about her getting pregnant, or et cetera, et cetera. Where a condom pretty much covers 99% of any diseases. So ladies, you need to ask yourself, okay, well, what am I bringing to a man in order for him to see me as a viable candidate for him?
So my thing is this: if you're willing to pay, you would be willing to pay to have sex with somebody. Well, then pay for a cook, pay for a nanny, pay for a surrogate. Just pay for all of those things. That way you don't have to worry about these situations. That way you don't have to worry about being used or being exploited. You get a 100% guarantee on whatever it is that you want. They don't want to do that. They want to be able to get everything for free, for cheap.
protect, provide, and pay 50% of the bills, at least. And most men don't see the value in that. There's no value.
The ring, the man, the family, the wedding. It doesn't matter what our success looked like. So if we're going to keep it real, most of these women that you guys are claiming are pick niches, they're successful, they're beautiful, they have their own house, own car, a great career. But what holds them back and what held me back for such a long time is waiting, and still not receiving what I think and thought that I deserved, meaning that happy ending. Okay, that's where we start to get desperate. That's where we start to panic move. And now we're just dealing with someone that we shouldn't even be dealing with. They're not even in our tax bracket if you want to keep it a buck. Okay, but I want people and other women and men to know the women who have moved in, not so great ways, who have picked guys that have not been so great for them. 9 out of 10, they're just desperate for it to be their turn.
Christ. So now we're looking at a woman who realized that her time to be attractive to a man is expiring. She's waiting. She's not going out there pursuing the man, because that's what women have to do these days.
No. No. It makes zero sense for the gender that can have a child and create a child. It makes zero sense for her to be the pursuer. That's not natural. That's not regularly seen in the animal kingdom. Okay, because we as women, we have the responsibility of deciding whose genes are going to get passed on. So women waiting, I hope this man did not bring children into this world. That's really what I was on my way to say. This is the reason why these men, oh well, women need to be the pursuers, and then oh well, you picked wrong. So they want you to be a pursuer and then also simultaneously blame you when you're picking the wrong person.
Has to make her move. Men aren't approaching women because women told them not to approach them. So now she's waiting, expiring on the shelf. And I hate to use that word, but the point is that women got to realize that if they want a man, the man has to meet them in their prime. Anywhere between the ages of 18 to 24. The most fertile ages for a woman. That's the time, supposedly, that she's supposed to have the less bodies under her. That's when.
Here we go. First of all, I really wish women would stop believing that marriage gives you a happy ending. No, it doesn't. Okay? Wake up. Oh, we're going to go through the comments under this video. Don't worry. We're going to go through the comments under this video. I still don't understand. Like, women need to wake up. Okay, you're not going to get a happy ending just because you have a ring on your finger and you signed some documents and you and the man said some words. That's what marriage is. Marriage is you get a dress, you have an event, you exchange rings, and you sign a legal document bonding you to that person, pretty much you being sold, if we're talking from a historical context on what it really means. You selling yourself to a man, that's why you have to change your last name, because you're losing your identity and you have the name of a man, the man now. And women are begging for this. Oh my God, I want my last name changed. Oh my God, no. No, if your identity is rooted in that and you're trying to root your identity in that, you're going to be sadly mistaken when you actually get it. And you're going to realize how you were lied to and how everything that you thought it was going to be will be nothing. It won't even be a morsel of what you think it's going to be. Please stop believing this stuff.
When she should settle down. That's what I teach my daughters. But once she's had a significant amount of.
And he has daughters. Did you hear that? He has daughters, and this is the content that he's making. He looks like he has bad hips anyway. So he has daughters. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? He is getting his daughters primed and ready for dust buckets, essentially. And then guess what? He's going to be the first one mad when the dust bucket that he approves of is going to be, it's not going to work out. And then she's going to be knocking at his door. Daddy, he lost his job. He left me with 3 kids. We don't have anything. We lost our house. We lost everything. And then he's going to be like, nope.
The bodies within that time period when she's most fertile, she's going to either have a baby out of wedlock or she's going to have so many men who's been through her, she can't bond with a man later in life. And men don't want that. That's his worst nightmare. So you wait and you get your and you work in your job and you do your profession, whatever, your school, and then you wait until it's too late. Now you're desperate. Eggs are drying up fast. No men are calling you. No men are talking to you. Same old story. Solution, find a man. He will be under 6 foot tall. He's not going to be the best shape, but he's a good man and he will love you and respect you. You respect him and you got to look at him and say, hey, this is good enough. I'm going to be satisfied with this man. He's going to have my kids and we are going to work together to produce a good life where we're both comfortable and we can actually build together and have a good, solid old age where we're not suffering. That's all you freaking need, ladies. Stay off of social media. Stop comparing yourself to others. Listen to your man. I have nothing else to say on this subject. Subscribe, my friends. Hit the old.
Okay, so let's look at the comments. I'm now wifeless. Wait, let me make sure y'all can see. Okay, yeah, y'all can. I'm now wifeless and I've been single for about 4 years. I'm now suffering from severe happiness. I don't want to be cured from it. I did go through these comments already that I read. And what I find really funny is that they feel as though they're bragging. They feel as though women's feelings are going to be hurt by this. This is what men should be doing anyway. Why is it taking for you to get married and getting divorced from for you to finally decide that you know how to live a life of happiness, choosing a life of happiness? Why is it taking for you to lose your home, lose your children, lose your money, for you to decide that you now want to have a life where you are happy, where you can be self-sustaining, where you are no longer codependent? I learned this shit in high school. Men give, women take. Oh, here we go. I'm not buying a used up 20-year-old Camry with ketchup and beer stains for $100,000. You can't afford the Aston Martin. You can't afford the Maserati. You can't afford the Porsche. Like, they're talking about what they're not going to buy, but they never talk about what they can afford. Like, this is the reason why he's going as far as to say a 20-year-old Camry. Can you even afford a 2025 Camry? Can you even afford the most current version Camry with 0 miles on it? You had to go all the way to 20 years to be able to try to prove a point. After 22 years being married, working myself literally almost to death, I had a heart attack in 2023, likely from stress of working 60 to 80 hours, aka I was a slave to patriarchy. My wife met with her pastor for counseling over the course of a week. She immediately became cold and distant. I noticed she and her pastor were then texting each other almost daily, and then she filed for divorce. She now is trying to take me for everything she can. Once I get through this, I will never, ever marry again and may not even date. I am 61 years old and done with the drama. So AKA, this is, I constantly was working all the time, so I couldn't give my wife any attention. I probably was transferring anger onto my wife. My wife went to go talk to somebody about it and probably allowed her to be vulnerable. And who knows, this pastor very well might have preyed on this woman's vulnerability with her failing marriage because I mean, come on, like, it's a good manipulative tactic, right? To find someone that's going through a situation like this, that it's prime vulnerability. And so essentially she said, well, it's just easier for me to not put up with this. And then she ended up leaving. Let's see. Why would any man go to a live meetup event where all the women that are there are going to be more interested in the man they see in their phones than the man that are actually there? This is 100% pure projection. If this was true, how come majority of men get swiped left on dating apps? Majority of men are not getting matches on dating apps. So this is a pure projection because this is what he is doing. He's more interested on the women in his phone as opposed to the real life women that he is seeing every day. It goes back to what I said earlier about the whole makeup thing. On a day-to-day, daily basis, when men and women are crossing paths, most of the time, these men are not seeing women in the same, like, dress, makeup, hair, nails, outfit. They're not seeing them in the same attire like they're seeing them on Instagram. Pure projection. Feminism allowed men to discover the other joys in life, their friends, freedom, gaming. outdoor activities, and most importantly, peace. They could do what they want when they want it, realize it was much better to live their lives. Men have sacrificed for centuries, but the minute women got power, it was me, 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 me. I'm hollering at friends because why is there a male loneliness epidemic? Where are the friends? Please tell me. Another problem women need to understand is good, great alpha leader men commit to a relationship with his woman, treat her very well, gives her the world, is loyal and trustworthy only for a few years to feel she is better than the man. She is on a higher level. She is superior to the man. She can do better. If she can get this man and treat her like this, then she can get another. So her hypergamous nature kicks in. So if she gets any attention from another man, she will take it. Men have figured this out and just refuse to no longer participate. Once again, this is a projection. This is what men do. And I love it because men are always blaming feminism on everything. Feminism, aka, oh my God, now that there's more of a level playing field, we don't like the fact that with this level playing field, or close as you can get to a level playing field, now that women have an advantage to do the same thing that we have been able to do since the beginning of time. Oh, well, now they have power. No, it's just the simple fact that men and women are doing the same thing, and women are doing it with way more on their plate, and they're still exceeding. They're still exceeding and outpacing men. They're stealing the single and happy personality from women. Yes. Because this is what men are. This is pure projection. Every single thing that they're saying that the women are doing is what men are doing. So them saying, oh, well, you give her everything, and then she feels as though her value is higher. And so then once she feels as though her value is higher, she's going to deal with someone else. No, this is what the men are doing. The woman I love and gave 12 years of my life to left for someone else. Dating and love are fairy tales in this world where men are expected to serve women. Of course, she told everyone I'm the problem and how toxic I was. Not once did she ever apologize or own up to cheating on me with her coworker. I mean, my thing about it is this. I hate to say it, but like, you're allowed to be left. You're unfortunately, the world that we live in, you're unfortunately allowed to get cheated on. And so at the end of the day, yeah, on both sides of the coin, if you aren't, I always use the job example because men always like to compare things to jobs when it comes to women. Well, you listen to your boss, so why won't you listen to a man? If a job hired you at certain things that you're supposed to do for you to have that job, and you are no longer able to perform that thing, or you cannot perform it at the ability at which you started or they hired you on, they are going to fire you. A job doesn't sit here and say, oh, well, we hired you, and so we're just never going to fire you. No, it's conditional based off of your performance. It's conditional based off of how well you do your job. It's the same exact thing when you're in a relationship. If you come in and agree, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this. Okay, cool. And it's until you decide, well, I'm just not going to do it, or I'm going to go and do the opposite of what I agree to do. Yes. People are then able and allowed to say, well, I'm just going to not deal with you anymore. I'm just going to terminate this. Yep, once familiarity creeps in, especially if you live with a man, it's curtains. Exactly. For most of them, once they're comfortable, once they like have a level of predictability when it comes to you, once there's really no excitement, it's pretty much over at that point. I've been single for 25 years. Both my houses are paid for, tons of money on hand. I do what I want, when I want, anytime I want. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Also, most men understand that no one is coming to save us if we mess up our finances. Live frugal, put away for a rainy day, and end up homeless. Men always have this victim mindset where it's like, no one's going to save us if we don't have our shit together. You're an adult. No one is going to, in most cases, save an adult when you're going through something, in most cases. I don't know why men tend to think that, there's this outpour of people that are like, oh, because you're a woman, I'm going to help you. Yes. Does it make your life easier? Yes. Are there resources such as like a woman shelter? Usually there's a woman shelter because usually the woman has children. So a lot of the time these men don't even have children and they still can't figure it out. They still can't stay afloat. Usually these women in predicaments, when they're getting help, they usually have a child. Like, there's just a lot of things that the victimization that they have, they rooted a lot of things in their brain where it just doesn't exist on a large scale for it to even be something that they should be fearing. I'm 6'6", and I would say this: that woman isn't terrible, but her attitude is awful. I would avoid her just off what she says. I don't think I'm the prize, and I will never say that, but I don't care about a prize. God, love is my prize, which is why I don't date anymore. Good. That's how it should be. Near 38 years of marriage to my virgin bride. Huge difference. We never dated. We knew what we each wanted and did it. I have no words. I have no words. Let me see. Here we go again. I'm not getting a used old high mileage motorcycle that requires tons of work with damages, wear and tear, with no warranty, and the price tag of a new motorcycle. Can you afford a new motorcycle? Because guess what? The motorcycle is still going to have wear and tear. You're still going to put mileage on it. You're still going to have to pay money for the damages. They make it seem as that if they're going to compare women to objects, that you just no longer are human at that point. You're no longer a human. Once they buy you, you're just set. You're just locked in. It's the same thing as this is where we go from younger. This is why we go from younger woman. The younger woman that you're dealing with is gonna get older. So when they say, oh, well, this is why we're going to marry a younger woman. Okay, what you're also saying is that you're going to marry the younger woman. And then once she shows signs of aging, you're going to get rid of her and then replace her with the younger woman. It's like the iPhone editions. You know, the people that are like serial, like iPhone updaters, like every time a new iPhone comes out, they buy the new iPhone. That when they're talking about age, that's what men are saying about age. Like there's no thought process. There's no logical thinking. The mere fact that they compare women to objects makes for be a lifestyle. Exactly. And then they wonder why no one wants to sleep with them. Men have the worst wear and tear. They break down faster than women. Yes. These men are at 35 years old having ED. What are the likes at right now? Are we at least at like 100 likes? Please tell me we're at 100 likes. Don't disappoint me, please. Don't break my heart like that. Okay. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to press the thumbs up for me, guys. All right, so we're going to go over a few comments and then we're going to wrap this live stream up. Let me see. Let me see. Spent 3 years chasing a coworker. We finally got together, and I was so happy I finally found the one. But then she wanted fake boobs and lipo and a lifetime subscription to those weight loss shots and wanted me to pay for it. I told her she didn't need any of that. She is beautiful to me. She told me other people are saying things about her weight and their opinions hold more value than mine. She said she thought about the future and that as a single mother, she wants to enjoy the club life again and she doesn't see me being on board with it. She is 30. So she left me, but told me she still cares about me and wants to remain friends and maybe we can hang out in the future, to which I told her no. I'm not living in the friend zone. Please don't call me. And I was told I'm a misogynist for saying this, and that was it. It's really hollowed me out because I see this behavior and thinking, and so I'm so many women that are in my range. Like I said before, women see the value in having beauty and what that can afford them more than they can see the value in dealing with a man and just doing the things to just keep a man or have a man. Like your beauty and your youth and the investment that you put into yourself, it's going to reap way more benefits than it is if you're out here chasing a man and trying to get married. I'm telling you, you're going to hit a dead end very quickly. You're going to hit a dead end very, very quickly. And this is why men are mad. Women rather have their beauty and women rather find a way to monetize their beauty, keep themselves up, like what they see in the mirror, as opposed to being the image of a man's desires. When in reality, those things that she's doing is her becoming a part of the man's desires. I've met 4 rich Asian ladies in the last 5 years that want a relationship, but they are too difficult to get along with. No thanks. And the reason being is why men think that these women that have like money or more money than them, the reason why they think that those women are so hard to get along with is because those men have to have an actual personality. They actually have to be good people. They actually have to be people that you look forward to being around. And most of these men just don't have they just don't got it. They just don't got it. I know, right? The smallest thing happens and they cry. I thought you were strong men. Exactly. I'll take my beauty and health any day over a man. Exactly. All right, y'all. I'm closing out. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream today. I probably will come on the back end later today. I don't know. But please don't forget to subscribe, okay, and hit the notification bell. I know some people are saying that they're losing their subscription, like it unsubscribed. So make sure you just go back in and make sure that you're subscribed to me and you click the notification bell. I'm sorry for the people that are hopping in here late. I've already been on here for 2 hours. I'm sorry. You might have missed the notification because I didn't have it uploaded very long. Like literally I scheduled it for 8:20 at 8:15 and then hopped on. Also, don't forget, if you want to find tactics to manipulate to be able to get what you want from men and learn the games so that you don't get manipulated from men, please feel free to join me on my Patreon. We currently have 68 members on Patreon. So to all of my lovely Patreon princesses, I really, really want to tell you thank you. I've been really consistent on my content over there. Once I get 100 members on the Patreon, I definitely am going to start an additional tier. It's going to be a level up tier on there. So we're going to talk about like makeup, hair, fitness, mindset and things like that. And then I'm also still working on the planner. So I am hoping to have this planner ready and to be sold by May. Okay. And I will, for the planner, I will be giving the Patreon princesses, I most likely will give the Patreon princesses early access and give them a discount on the planner. So also keep that in mind. And yeah, that is it. That is all. I also still have the one-on-one consultations open. So if you guys want to go on ahead and do that while I'm still doing it, feel free. And I will talk to you ladies next time. Thank you all so much. Bye.